What is up? I am waiting forever for this unit to warm up the space temperature and start operating and cooling again. It's had to have been a good 20 to 30 minutes so far. And that is the set point. So the deal is, this unit's cooling a server room. A few of these units are cooling the server room, and he's been complaining that it's way overcooled. I guess it's been getting down to like 58 degrees and sometimes down to 55 or even colder in there. Meanwhile, it's 105 to 110 outside. But we've been experiencing monsoon weather where the humidity's been up there a little bit. Right now, the humidity is at a nice low 32% with about 90 degrees outside. Might be more like 92, 93 by now since the last time I looked. But so I came here the other day, and then when it shows you your modes basically here, it's cycle through here. Vent mode now, but it's been stuck in RH reheat, which is relative humidity. It's under that control loop at that moment. It's trying to reheat. And what this system has is two compressors. One of them has the unloader on the top of the scroll, so there's an unloader valve, 3-port scroll. And you have the two circuits, and then you have this coil right here's a reheat coil, where hot gas can be sent over after the evaporator in the airstream for dehumidification, which is awesome. So it just opens like a valve. So it's this hot gas. So it'll be this valve right here, this hot gas valve, reheat coil valve. So comes from tees into the hot gas. It leaves the compressor, tees in. This valve will lower the proportion of that hot gas that goes to the outer coil, and instead this one will start opening at the same time and let heat go boom. So you're using basically a condenser coil right after an evaporator coil, instant dehumidifier. But for some reason the unit just control is bringing on one or two compressors doing this thing, and it was overcooling while it was continuously trying to remove humidity in this. And a lot of these units, if it's used to control like temperature and humidity, like say in surgery rooms we have these on, these also have a bank of electric heat right here with all the contactors and stuff, and electronic controls on those for duty cycle that will add more heat, so the space temperature won't overcool. It'll control the supply air temperature. Well, this is just a server room, so they figure, hey, we don't need to install the heaters. It's just got that changeover valve and call it good. But with the monsoon season, and even though there's any outside air going into this thing, it still drives the relative humidity way up. And if you look at your temperature, like at 90 degrees, 89 degrees it was with 55 degree dew point, and calculate it, it comes out to 32% relative humidity right now outside. If you drop that same amount of moisture in the air, you take that air and just temper it down to 68 degrees, it makes the relative humidity calculation go over 60. If you already got the air down to 58 or so, well, 80 something percent. That's what the calculated relative humidity will be. That's what this thing was seeing, and it's going to keep removing it, keep dropping the space temperature. Relative humidity calculation goes up. It's a vicious cycle. Can't remove quite enough moisture to get the dew point down enough to get the calculated relative humidity down to get it to stop running in that mode. Without reheating the air, you can't keep drying the air like that. So yeah, so I came back with the service tool today, and yeah, so the should be finally kicking on. Space Temp 16 should be kicking on in a minute. This thing keeps shutting off. So I have no choice to do but to go in here and get into the settings of the Wattmaster for Aeon and change that. So I'm going to go to status. Identifies VCB to X controller, which is what that is. No date held. And right now we're running in vent mode, which is great. And there's my control temperature 68.5 and my cool set point 68. So we're not far enough above yet, I guess, to go into cooling, but it should be real quick. Heat set point for 60. Here. Supply air is at 74 now, so you can tell it must be sucking in just a little bit of outside air, because the space is 68.5, and every time it's blowing the air back in, it's gaining 5 65 degrees, so that little slight fresh air opening, which is almost shut completely, must be bringing in something, plus all the ductwork and heat and stuff. It just sort of clicked, so I don't know if that was one of the changeover valves or something getting ready to start the compressor. Reading some of the comments now. Yeah, I don't know what territory you're in, but I mean, like we don't get quite all that, you know, moisture on the windows and anything kind of like that. All right, phone messed up there. Let me get this switched back over. There we go. Come on, switch to front camera. So I don't know. Part of it might have been rising. Lost connection there. Just trying to read the text there. Should be kicking off pretty soon. But anyway, in here you have to have this tool to change settings like the enable points and the humidity set points and whatnot. Indoor relative humidity, it's dropped way down since I've let the space go from 50 something degrees up to now 68.7 degrees. So the calculation dropped way down, but the calculation was at 80% or so, and I had to kick the set point for the relative humidity all the way up to 80 just to keep it from being stuck in relative humidity, you know, reheat mode. So maybe after the monsoon season, if they ever complain about humidity in that room, which probably won't, but I'll turn that back down. This is our first year of servicing these units on this site. Whoever set up the server room had their own vendor doing it. So, as I said, most of these units I've dealt with, you know, if they've been in a controlled environment, if they care about the relative humidity, I usually always also have a bank of electric heat. You know, when you're running space temperatures really cold in the 60s, you know, surgery rooms, you know, or other critical air. So, but for this critical air, it's for computer servers, and they didn't spec it with the electric reheat. It just has the one changeover valve to reheat. It is considered a heat pump, though. Although I don't see a changeover valve on the second compressor. Hot gas pipe. Yep, it only, it's cooling only, it looks like, for the second compressor. Another 67,000 BTUs. Primary one is 61,000 BTUs, basically about 5 tons, big 5 tons. So only the first compressor has a reheat valve. So yeah, I don't know why, but when it was in reheat dehumidification control, most of the time it had the second compressor on. Because I guess it figures, let's get that coil really cold, but that's silly without the, you can't put that much heat back in. So the BTUs, you know, heat being removed with 2 compressors, 2 stages, was way more than the 1 stage of the reheat coil on compressor 1. Only. So maybe there's somewhere in a setting to disable the second stage in reheat humidification mode. I don't know, I've never done that. So configured it that deep in one of these amps. But anyway, this video is going too long, but I'm still just waiting for it to confirm that it's gonna kick back in a cooling mode when that space warms up. So that I'll catch you guys later before this phone